ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 50, verse number 29. So we are reading the description of Jarasandha's attack on Mathura with 23 Akshoni of army, and he surrounded Mathura from all four sides. Then Krishna and Balaram, they came out with a small army and started killing the enemies. Krishna and Balaram got their chariot, their drivers, their weapons. They manifested, and then Krishna started killing. So we saw how there was a river made from blood and severed parts of the bodies. Elephants died, horses. So he's continuing a little bit more on this. Yes, Purushottam Prabhu, you have some question?
A question is, since they were all died in front of Krishna, and Krishna being a Hatari Katidayaka, they all got liberated, right? Basically then, even though they were Asuric in that sense.
Yes.
So there are so much deliberation, 23 Akshaponi, and this is for 17 times.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes, everything is amazing. So there are always two sides to it. One side killing, other side moksha. Swabalam tadangarnava durga bhairavam durantaparam magadendra palitam kshayam pranitam vasudeva putriyor vikriditam tajjagadishayo param. So he says that the army of Magadendra Palitam, protected by Jarasandha, was Arnav Durga Bhairavam. It was like an ocean and not easy to cross over, which means not easy to conquer over. And it was very terrible, Bhairavam, that which gives fear. Just to see that much army, you get fearful. To speak of fighting with so many people. So Durantaparam, and difficult to cross over it. So he says, but Krishna brought it to an end. Kshayam Pranitam. He finished it. And along with Balram, Vasudeva Putriyor, and doing this, it was not any big work for them. Vikriditam. It was just a like Vikriditam Brajbadu Hridam Cha Vishnu. So the same Vikriditam. It was a play for them. And Tad Jagdisha Yoho Param, because they are Jagdisha, so they destroy whole universe. What is the big problem in destroying little army? So Anga He Rajan, so he is calling him as so king. Tad balam arnavavat durgam bhairavam cha. So that army was just like an ocean, means durgam like a fort which you cannot cross, and bhairavam very terrified. And durantaparam dushabdo nishedhe. So it's difficult. Antastalam param avadhi. So it makes that Durantaparam is made from three words. One is dur, and is anta, another is param, which means that it was difficult to find the limit of it, how much deep it was. Just like the ocean, you stand in front of the ocean, then you don't know up to what extent it is. All as long as you see, you just see the water. You don't see the other end of the ocean. So like that, this army was also surrounding and you could not see the end of it. So that's what it means Durantaparam. And Vikramena Agadham Desatascha Niravdhikamiti. So Avadhi limit, he says that it means Vikramena Agadham and Destascha Niravdhi. That by strength, by valor, also it was unfathomable, and also by the space, how much space it was occupying, Destascha. So you could not see the end of it. So Vastu Vichare Tayos Tat Karma Kevalam Vikriditam Natu Parakrama. So did they show their chivalry to kill this? He says, no, really speaking, for them it was just a play and not it was any big effort on their part. Means they did it easily. Sthiti udbhavantam bhavanatrayasya samihate ananta gunasvalilaya nitasya chitram parapaksha nigrahas tathapi martyanuvidhasya varnyate. So he says that Bhagavan, one who creates, maintains and destroys these three worlds, bhavantrayasya, samihate ananta gunasvalilaya. By his pastime he does this, and he has unlimited qualities. So natasya chitram parapaksha nigraha. It is not very surprising, it is not a great wonder that he demolished the army of the opponent. So then why it is being described if it is not a big deal? Because if you have to describe something, it must be something big. To find a place in Bhagavatam, it must be something extraordinary. And how can it be any fun for him if it is so easy? So he says that this is because martya anuvidhasya varnati. Tathapi martya anuvidhasya. So because Krishna is acting as a human being, so accordingly, from human point of view, it is amazing what he did. And therefore it is being described, because it gives rasa for the devotees. Sthiti udbhava, so sthiti udbhava. श्लोक ननु जगदीशता तदा कथम क्षुद्राति क्षुद्रै जीवै स्वस्य अननुरूपै सह युद्धे रस सिद्ध्यति. So question is raised here that since Krishna is Jagadisha, he is the Lord of the universe, so then how is that fighting with these insignificant jivas can give any pleasure to him? Even from chivalry point of view, because he is the Jagdisha, he is the one who is bringing the universes from the pores of his body, and these are little ants. So if you kill an ant, what is the big fun for you to do? And who is going to glorify you for that? That oh, he killed one ant. So this is the question. And na chet tarhi tad varnanaya kim. And if there is no rasa involved in it, then why is it being described? Pivata Bhāgavatam rasamalayam. So Bhagavatam is supposed to be the storehouse of rasa. And if this is not giving any rasa, then why describe it? So tatraha sthiti iti. So then it describes that Krishna is the creator and maintainer of the universe. Tarhi kim ati ashriyam evam varnitam tatraha. So he says this is described as if it is a great wonder or great achievement. Why? Tathapi martyanuvidhasya. Martyasan anurupam eva vidhatte. So being like a mortal, then he acts like that. Martyanuvidhasya ayamartha. The meaning is as follows. Yena jagat srishti adikam karoti tenaiva yadi jarasandham jayati tada khalu ananurupatvat narasa. So he says that by the power, by the prowess, and by the very form with which he creates the universe and maintains it, if with that form itself he kills Jarasandha, then it is not suitable for him, because think of Mahavishnu. He is gigantic. So Jarasandha is not even like a fly in front of that. He's so big. So then killing him is not suitable. He's no match to him. So therefore there is no rasa involved in it. Yadicha martya sanjayati tada martasya pratiyodha martya anurupa. But if he takes the position of a mortal being, human being, and then he fights and conquers, then the opponent of a mortal being is also a mortal being. So then they are a match. And then there is rasa. Tatrapi praudhasya jarasandhasya jayat chamatkarya iti rasya. And then on top of that, Jarasandha is a human being, Krishna is a human being. But Krishna is very young. And Jarasandha was senior. He was father of Kamsa's wives. So he must be in his 50s at least, if nothing more. So he is in the advanced age, he is grown up, he is experienced. So to defeat him, then there is some rasa. Like some young wrestler defeats a mature wrestler who is established Olympic champion. So Jarasandha was like that. He has defeated many kings. Many kings were under his custody. So if Krishna defeats him, then this is chamatkar. This brings rasa. So therefore it says rasa eva bhavati. Nacha martya dehasya ashwarupatvam vachyam. But then you should not think that he is acting or he is a human being, so his body is not part of his swarupa. Just like our body, material body is not part of our own swarupa, but outside. So if he is a martya linga, then his body will also be not part of his swarupa. He says, no, that is not true. Paramatma narakriti. He is still Paramatma, but he is in human form. And this form is his own swarupa, not something which he has acquired. Although sometimes it is described like that he took the form. So taking means just manifesting it, that's all it means. So as it is said that Narakriti Parabrahma Hari Karana Manusa, that he has a form like a human being, but he is Parabrahma. He is the absolute truth, and he is the Karana Manusa, he is the cause of everything. And Brahma also says, Yan Mitram Paramanandam Purna Brahma Sanatanam Aho Bhagyam Nanda Gauka Vrajaukasham. So how wonderful it is that Krishna is friend of all these cowherd people, but he is Parabrahma and supreme blissful. So there also, although he is seen as a human, but he is Purna Brahma. So therefore, this Leela brings joy. So now all his army is killed and Jarasandha was also defeated. So Jagraha Viratham Ramo Jarasandham Mahabalam Hatani Kavashishtasum Simha Simhamivojasa. So then Balram, what he did, that he demolished Jarasandha's chariot, and all the horses, driver, everybody is killed. So although he was Mahabalam, he was very powerful, but could not do anything in front of Balram. So Hata Anika avshishtasu asu. His army was killed, but his own life was still remaining. So Balaram, he captured him just like a lion may capture another lion. So simha simham iva ojasa. So he caught him physically and bound him. Badhyamanam hataratim pashair varuna manushaihi varyamasa govindastena karya chakirshaya. So he bound him, he who has killed many enemies, Jarasandha, was bound by the Varuna Pasha and human ropes. Ropes of Varuna are famous. Varuna's weapon is rope. It's like Indra's weapon is thunderbolt. So that's Spurjan, that word which came yesterday, that is actually the sound of when thunderbolt hits, makes sound, thundering sound. That is the Spurja. So he was bound by the ropes of Varuna and also human ropes by Balaram. But Krishna told him that leave him. We have still some work with him. He says he is a very useful person for us. So don't kill him, don't tie him, release him, let him go back. So then he will come back again and we will play again. And then he will again do the same thing. So therefore, Karya Chikirshaya, with the wish to achieve his goal, that is to remove the burden of the earth. So he forbade Balaram to kill him. He says, no, don't kill him. And ultimately he is also a relative. Jarasandha is also their relative, right? Is their uncle, maternal uncle's father-in-law. So he says, no, don't kill him. So he was spared. So hatanikascha sau avshishto asubhaya eva yasya sa. So his army was killed and only his life years were still running. Hataratim hatprayam aratim. So Hataratim, he says, who was almost killed. Karya Chikirshya karyam bhavinam bhubhara bhutanam sanyanam ekatra sammelana tasyeva puna puna tadvara Chikirshya. So Karya Chikirshya, he explains is that if he is released, then we have to remove the burden of the earth. So he will help us in that. He will gather the army again and he will bring it in one place. Otherwise we have to go to so many places. So we don't have to go anywhere. He brings everyone here. We kill, then he goes back. He brings more. Then we kill, then he goes back. Like that. So please leave him. So therefore he was not killed. But this is a very big disgrace. It is better that he is killed. Because now when he goes back, what people will say? Oh, here he comes, being defeated by the young boy. And he is such a big hero. And he is coming here, losing all his army. So it will be a big disgrace for him. Even if they don't say to his face, he will feel it himself. He's not stupid. He can understand what people are thinking about him. So, what is that? Marnadatirichyate. Sambhavitasya chakirti. Marnadatirichyate. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that infamy for a person who is respected in society is worse than death. Because if you die, you don't hear all the criticism. But if you live, then you have to hear, because people have freedom of speech, right? If they cannot speak, they will go on Facebook and they will write something, right? Post a blog. So it will be such a big disgrace for him. So that's how he is feeling. He says, Samukto loka nathabhyam vridito vira sammataha tapase krita sankalpo varitaha pathi rajabhi. So he was released by these two masters of the world, Krishna and Balram. Means his life was spared. But that made him very ashamed. He felt highly ashamed that what is this? They are not killing me. So samukta lok nathabhyam vridito vira sammata. Because he was very much honored by the big heroes. Jarasandha had a big name among the Kshatriyas. He was counted as a big hero. But now his fame was diminished. So he thought, so what he decided that I will take Vanprastha. I will not go back to my kingdom, but I will remain in the forest and I will do tapasya. So tapase krita sankalpa. So many Kshatriyas used to do that in the past. They will give up their kingdom, retire to the forest. Also sometimes they are ridiculed or something happens, then they don't want to live in the society, because if you live in the society somewhere or the other, somebody will point finger at you. And Kshatriyas have very big ahankara. So that is one thing they cannot tolerate. It's too much for them to tolerate that. So therefore go and live in the forest. And then don't need to talk to anybody. So many times kings who would get defeated, they will go and live in the forest and just pass their time there. So Pandu also retired to forest and he was cursed. So he just went to forest. There was no need for him to go, nobody told him to go. But he decided to do that. So he also made a plan like that, Jarasandha. Because if he goes back, then his wives must have some kids, family members, and they will all look at him, what is this? Because these are the people who would be training them. All these statements, Kshatriya is like this, that we never show our back to anybody, we fight, this, that. But now he himself is coming back. So like a snake whose hood has been smashed. But there were some other kings, they stopped him. Varitaha pathi rajavi. Some other royal people, they said no. Because he also had some followers who praised him for his valor. So therefore, lajjitatve hetu vira sammata. Why was he feeling ashamed? Because he was honored by the heroic people. So how was he convinced? Because you have to convince him. He is feeling very down. He is like depressed. Like Arjuna became depressed in the first chapter of Gita. Visrijya sasram chapam. Gave up his chapa. So how did they convince him? So they spoke to him like this. Vakyahi pavitra artha padair nainai prakritairapi swakaram bandha praptoyam yadubhiste parabhava. So they gave him some nice talk, pavitra artha vakyahi, and gave him some nice examples that should never give up, should fight back, life is very precious, sukha dukha they come because of the prarabdha. So it is not that these Yadavas are any great heroes, it's just your prarabdha is there. Everybody is not victorious all the time. Life is always going through cycles, right? Sometimes you defeat another person, sometimes you get defeated. It is all prarabdha. Otherwise, how is that these Yadavas can defeat you? They have no power to defeat you. It is only because of your karma. So don't. And that karma is over now. So, just like you go and do some gambling. So in gambling, what is there? It's only your prarabdha that you win or you lose. And you cannot go on losing all the time. Someday you will also win. That's why with this hope they keep on playing. So therefore he says that it is swakarma bandha. So swakarma bandha means outcome of your karma, means prarabdha karma. Swakarma bandha praptoyam yadubhiste parabhava. He says you getting defeated by these Yadavas, you defeated Kamsa, who was the most powerful here. This Kamsa kicked away all the Yadavas. Kamsa was not a Yadava. He came there and he captured the kingdom. So he says that these Yadavas, they are nothing. They are not even, they were cursed by Yayati. Yadu was cursed by Yayati. When he wanted to exchange his old age, Yadu refused. So he cursed him that in your dynasty no one will become king. That's what Duryodhana also said. When Samba went and kidnapped Lakshmana, Duryodhana's daughter, he got so angry, he says, these Yadus. So they were considered, among the Kshatriyas, they were considered as low, They were not high class Kshatriyas, because they were cursed. So he says that Yadubhiste parabhava, that these Yadavas, इनकी औकात क्या है तुम्हारा? Why are you feeling so down? Forget it. So pavitrani tattva upadesh parani artha padani. So they gave him tattva upadesh. When somebody is down and you want to uplift the spirit of a person who is down, depressed, dejected, in grief, the best thing is to give tattva upadesh. Because at the level of tattva, there is no grief, there is no shoka, it is true, it's not false. All this grief, this fear, anxiety, depression, these come when we come down from the tattva level. When we come at the bodily level, then we start seeing my relative, my friend, my position, my wealth. That's what brings you down. So if you have to uplift yourself, go beyond. Think, this is all temporary. Aham Brahmasmi. Yeah. So that is tattva. Tattvamasi. Svet Ketu. Don't think. So therefore they started, this is the beauty of India, that here there are people ready to give you upadesh. Yeah, even rickshaw driver can give you upadesh, That is one thing Indians know. Lecture. How much they themselves follow, that is a different thing. But at least they will give you the tattva. So swakarmeti. So what is the tattva? He says, tavetat parabhav dukham lalate likhitam eva. Tat kathamanyata bhavati. He says this suffering which you are going through now, out of defeat from Yadavas, this is written on your forehead. You did not consult a great good Jyotish before you came, otherwise he would have told you. So no one can change it. Right? What is it written on Lalat, on your forehead? No one can remove it, because it's written by Brahma. So it's not possible. So avasyameva bhoktavyam kritam karma iti smriti. So it is a rule, avasyameva bhoktavyam kritam karma shubha-shubham. Na bhuktam kshiyate karma kalpakoti koti shatairapi. So whatever karma you have performed in your past life, you have to go through the outcome of that, no matter who you are. You can say all kinds of things, but karma will not leave you. So there is a sloka like that in Garuda Purana. He says, look at Shiva. Poor guy sits in the mountain, no dress, with a begging bowl he goes around. Look at Vishnu. Did not even get the bed to sleep, lies on a snake. So he says karma does not spare anybody. It's their karma. Karma reigns supreme over everyone. Nobody has the power. Lalat likhitam rekham kopi marstu marhati. Who is that who can wipe out the lines written on your forehead? Maybe now plastic surgery can do it. Can change. Everything is possible by plastic surgery now. Now you have to change the sloka, except for plastic surgery. But it will be interesting if the plastic surgery of the forehead is done, will the karma change? Maybe the lines will appear again. This will be experimented. So they gave all these examples that ayukaram cha vittam cha vidyadhanam eva cha panchetani srijyante garbhastasya eva dehina. 5 things are predetermined. Even when you are in the womb, how long you will live, how much money you will make, education, how will you die. So all these things. So he says this was already written, so don't feel bad about it. So iti smrite etat vyangyena arthena. So like this they gave him the Vyanjana vritti. Nitim chahu. So is this also niti? It's also diplomacy principle. What is that? Sacha artho yatha. It's like this. यदि ऐसा पराभवस्ते प्रारब्ध कर्माधीन एव तर्हि कालज्जा का खलु बुद्धिमान अति क्षुद्रान यादवादपि त्वाम दुर्बलम मनस्यते. So he says that if this was your prarabdha karma, that you have to be defeated, then why are you feeling ashamed from that? Because this has to happen. And who is that intelligent person who will make fun of you? Because he will know who you are and who are the Yadavas. These Yadavas are so insignificant in front of you that there is no possibility that they can defeat you. It's your karma, not Yadavas. So he says, Ka khalu buddhiman atik shudrat Yadavad api tvam durbalam mansate. He says, who is that person who has little grey matter in his head will think that this Yadava boy defeated you, who are so great. He says, nobody. Yadavena saha yuddhe tab jaya sati na kimapi yasha parajaya api na kachis lajja. He says, if you win over these Yadavas, that is nothing great for you. Nothing great. Because they are useless. And if you get defeated by them, that is also nothing wrong with it. Because that's your karma. So if you win, don't feel very happy you won. Because they are useless people. They have no power. And if you get defeated by them, don't feel bad about it because that's your karma. Good logic, right? So don't feel humiliated by this. Why? He said, Jarasandha simmohi Krishna saram jitvapi na kamipi utkarsham ajitvapi na kamipi nindam prapnoti. He says, you are like a lion, Jarasandha Simha. And this Krishna is a Krishna Sara. So Krishna Sara is a type of deer. There are various types of deers, Ruru, Krishna Sara. So one type of deer is called Krishna Sara. So he's calling Krishna as Krishna Sara. That means that this Krishna is like a deer and you are like a lion. So who would think that a deer can defeat a lion? It is impossible. And if you have defeated him, it's nothing big deal for you. What is so glorious if a lion defeats a deer? So that's what he's saying, that Jarasandha Simha means Jarasandha, who is like a Simha and like a lion, Krishna Saram Jitvapi na Kamapi Utkarsam. He says this is no glory for you to conquer this Krishna. And if he conquers you, don't feel ashamed of that. That is only by karma, because he can never defeat you. That is the logic. So na kamapi nindam prapnoti vayam janime. He says we know this very well. So you don't have to try to convince us how you got defeated, what happened, he did this, I made this mistake. So there's nothing doing. We know it very well, and don't think of giving up your kingdom and going to the forest. Let's go back and plan. Next time. Samkakshena pi saha yuddhe ja parajyabhyam kshatriya na garbdanye dhariye. He says a kshatriya, a real kshatriya, even if he fights with a person who is of same caliber, same valor, same strength, then he doesn't become proud by defeating, he does not feel humiliated by losing. For kshatriyas, this is just a game, like a play. Sukhe dukhe samay kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam vapsyasi. So yogastha kuru karmani sangyam taktva dhananjaya siddhya siddha samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So kshatriyas are like that. So don't worry. Kimuta svato ati nyunena iti shastram. He says this is what Shastra is saying. This is the tattva vastu. This is what Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita also. That you should not take your victory or defeat very seriously. Very seriously in the sense that don't become too much elated if you are victorious, and don't become dejected if you lose. It's just part of life. You should continue and do your duty. Remain a karma yogi. Remain fixed. So this is the advice which is given by the friends to Jarasandha. Hateshu sarvanikeshu nripo bharadathastada upekshito bhagavata magdhan durmana yayu. So when all his army was killed, then King Bhardarata, his father's name was Brihadarata, and he was like neglected by Krishna. Means Krishna did not kill him, he also did not arrest him, but just left him. So then he came back to his kingdom, but not very happy, Durmana. In his mind, he was not feeling very happy. And Mukundo api akshat balo nistirnari balarnavaha vikiryamana kusmai stridashairan moditaha. And Krishna, nothing happened to his army. Nobody was killed, akshat bala. So his army remained intact, came back, and nistirna ari balarnava. So he crossed over the ocean of the enemy's army, means he killed and he came. So when he was returning, then all the devas came and they showered flowers at him. Vikariyamana kushme tridashair anumodita. So they were very happy. So he got a very nice welcome back into the city. So Bhardaratho api Brihadputro Jarasandha. So he says Bhardaratha, that even though he was son of Brihadaratha, but still he came back. Mukundo api yayau iti anusanga. And Bhagavan Krishna, he also came back to his kingdom. So now there is a little description how he was received when he returned back. So when you come back, when the kings used to come back after victory, then there will be a big festival in the kingdom. All the people will receive him very nicely. Generally kings will make some stupa, some like a tower, victory tower, in to commemorate their victory. In India, some places you see this. So Mathurai upsangamya vijvarair muditatmabhi upgiyamana vijaya suta magadavandibhi. So when Krishna, he approached the residents of Mathura, and now they are very happy, muditatmabhi. Because when they were surrounded by this big army, they were in anxiety, what will happen now, this we will be all killed or what will happen. So now they were Vijvara. Vijvara means no trouble. They became free from any danger. There was no more any danger to their life, and thus they were happy. So Krishna was Upgiyamana Vijaya. So his victory was being celebrated, and Suta, Magadha and Vandi. So these are three types of people who were expert in panegyrics, in stotra, in praise. They will also make extempore poetry in the praise of the king. The sutas, that's why sutas were who used to recite the Puranas, like Suta Goswami. So that's how they will add the stories to the Puranas. They'll add them in the dynasty, because one of the characteristics of the Purana is Vansanu Charitam Jai, the description of the different dynasties. So that's why the Puranas will increase. And Magadha and Vandi. So Magadha is also state, Magadha. But this type of Brahmanas, they were also called Magadhas. And Vandi. So they do Vandana, recitation of the stotras. So they all came and they started singing, all glories to Krishna. Then Shankha Dundubayo Nedur Bheri Turyani Anek Shaha Veena Venu Mridangani Puram Pravashiti Prabho. So when Prabhu Sri Krishna he entered the city, then various types of musical instruments were played. So there was conches were being blown, dundubhi, and then bheri. So percussion instruments, flutes, string instrument, veena, mridangas, various types of instruments were played to welcome him. And Shikta Marga Hrishta Janam Pataka Bhiralankrtam Nirgushtam Brahma Ghoshena Kautuka Baddha Toranam. So this is being described, the city. So all the paths, they were sprinkled with nice fragrant water and people were happy. And there were various types of flags and festoons which were decorating the city. And then Brahmanas came who were reciting the Vedic mantras. So Nirgushtam Brahma Ghoshena. Brahma means Veda. So Brahma Ghosha means chanting of the Vedas. And Kautuka Baddha Toranam. So city was having Torana, this tying various types of leaves and flowers on string and hanging. So there was a big festival. And he won and came back. Nichya mano nari bhir malya dadhyakshatankuraihi nirikshamana sasneham priti utkalita lochanaihi. And especially the ladies, they came and they were showering flowers on Krishna and Balram. Malya dadhi akshata ankurai. They had garlands and they were sprinkling yogurt mixed with rice and sprouts, barley. And nirikshamana sasneham priti utkalita lochanai. And they were looking at Krishna with very loving and affectionate eyes. Priti utkalita. Wide, bright, loving eyes glancing at him. Ayodhan gatam vittam manantam veerabhushanam yaduraja tate sarvam mahritam pradishat prabhu. So they also got some wealth from this, because all these kings which were killed, they had nice ornaments, so they removed all that. So a lot of gold and jewelry. So they collected a lot of that. He told his army people, get it from them. So it was collected. Veerabhushanam. Veerabhushanam means the ornaments of the heroes. So this was given to Yaduraja. Who is Yaduraja? Ugrasena. So Ugrasena, he got all the wealth. So Krishna did not keep anything for himself. Like a sincere servant of Ugrasena, whatever he has collected, sarvam ahritam pradeshat. So he sent it all to the king of Yaduj. So Nichiyamanaha Vikiryamana. The word Nichiyamana means Vikirya means throwing. Prabhu Pravishat. The Lord Sri Krishna entered Viparinata Anusanga Itri Swami Charana. So here the verbs are not so many, so you have to apply it. Pradeshat and Pravishati. You can take either the verb Pravishati from Sloka 38 and change it into Prabhivesha and apply, or you have to take Pradeshat from down. Yadva Pradeshat iti parinanvaya. So either you have to pull the verb back from sloka 38 or you have to pull it up from 41. Ayodhanam Yuddhanam. So Ayodhanam is Yuddha Bhumi, in the land of battle. Tatra Patitam Viranam Bhushnam Gatra Lagnam. So all the heroic people who have fallen down there, so their ornaments were removed and collected. So this is, we'll stop here, still continuing more. Tomorrow probably it will be over. Any question?
Tattva Upadesh. Tattva Upadesh, the instructions, it seems useful to pacify the mind after something has happened.
Yeah.
Then you
if
still
nothing
have
has
to
happened, you
decide.
don't need to pacify.
Huh?
If nothing has happened, you don't need to pacify.
But he still needs to decide what to do next, no? Like Jarasandha still needs to decide what to do next. So that's not for Tattva Upadesh. He's just going to work off his desires, and then he'll continue to use the philosophy to make himself feel better.
Tattva Upadesh is here not to go to the forest. He was planning to retire, give up the kingdom, and just take one prastha. So it's like Arjuna was saying that I will live by begging. So Krishna gave Tattva Upadesh. He says, no, you fight. So same with Jarasandha. He said, I will give up everything, go to the forest. And they said, no, you should fight. That's the Tattva Upadesh. Means don't give up your duty, continue with that. Oh.
Also, you mentioned the five things which are predicted at the time of birth. I think you mentioned four. I missed the fifth one.
Ayu kam cha vityam cha vidya dhanam eva cha. Ayu, age.
Lifespan.
And karma, what? Profession. And wealth, education. So ayu kam cha vityam cha. And then death, how you will die.
How and when? How and when also? Same?
Yeah, Ayu is saying that already. Ayu means lifespan. Okay, Mohini.
I have a few questions. Like, I don't understand why yogurt is sprinkled. Because I feel, yes, yogurt is fat, and then it sticks in the hair, and that's like not so comfortable. So why they sprinkle yogurt? I mean, when there are like chandan inside the water, it's like clean and you don't feel dirty. But if I get sprinkled with yogurt, I would not feel so clean afterwards.
Well, this is way of celebrating. When you celebrate, it's not question of feeling clean. People throw things out of joy. You have seen the Holi festival in India? It's not very clean, but it's the festival.
Was it always like this, or was it in previous times it was like more clean with more pure ingredients?
But the yogurt is not pure, it's A2 yogurt.
Yeah, but I would still not feel comfortable when I get sprinkled with.
Yeah, so it's
fat.
not for you, that's why we don't throw in you. You are spared, don't worry.
I was also having a question about yesterday's class. Today something was mentioned like why this is described, the battle between Jarasandha and Krishna and how this gives rasa. But I was still having a question like about the description of the river of blood, and it was carrying different bodies and limbs, and they were appearing like snakes and turtles, etc. So I'm wondering if such description describe in a cryptic or hidden way also something else. Like, do they have an external meaning? The external meaning is the description, and the internal meaning is maybe something else, like confidential Leela of Vrindavan, or do they also have these two-sided meanings?
Yeah, this meaning you can discover that. But it's only Vira Rasa, that's all.
Okay.
The thing these days is that now people think that there is only one rasa, and everywhere in everything you have to only search that. Otherwise, it is not rasa. If there is no talk of kunja, then it is not a description. Right? So you have to look for kunja in everything. Okay, Sandeep.
Pranam, Babaji. So I just want to add, like when she's saying that this yogurt was poured. So when we had competition between various ships, and the ship which was the winner, when that ship which was the winner, the winning party when it
Which competition?
No, we had some competition, this boat racing competition between ships. So the winning party was poured with beer. Every participant was poured with beer. So it is a custom like that could be have been a custom during those times. So now there is a custom like this. So that was just to add on to what she said that.
Yeah, they also open champagne, right? And throw at each other. That is very pure.
Another, I had this question that like after repeating him for 17 times and then like running away, becoming a ranchor. He like Krishna killed Bagasur, all these all these demons who came in Rāsa-līlā. So, any particular reason he got him killed by Bhima later, or was it he wanted to shift everyone? Matlab Dwarka-līlā, he wanted to show that Dwarka-līlā. Is there any particular thing about it, or?
Yeah, in this particular means he brought and he killed and he brought and killed. 18th time, because Kalayavan came. So then Krishna said, this will be too much of chaos, fighting with Kalayavan on side, Jarasandha on the other side, so he left. And then he got Kalayavan killed. And Jarasandha went back, because there was no one to fight with. And I already told you that Jarasandha, because he was blessed by Brahmanas, therefore Krishna did not want to kill him, to keep the blessings of the Brahmanas.
So the reason for getting killed from Bhim was that he was blessed by Brahmanas. One of the reasons.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.